Hey everybody. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be doing the odd numbers. Last night you did the even numbers. If you forgot your homework, you can absolutely use these equations and put it on a separate sheet of paper. It's about practicing, and the more practice you get, the easier division will become. But if you don't practice, you won't understand it. So we had done number 1 in class yesterday. And so I'm going to skip number 1, but the answer is 43 with a remainder of 9. And again, we did that in class yesterday. Number 3, I'm going to use the area model on this one, and I'll switch back and forth depending on which one is easiest for you. So the equation, I'm going to write this out as it's 891 divided by 56, and then it's showing here the 56, and it has it like this, so you can use it. Okay, so I'll make my little rectangle box. So if you're still getting confused, that's another way of looking at it. I know in class we make the box and then we draw the lines and put it in there, but this is the same concept of having it as long division. I put my multiplication sign there because it's the number of groups. It's groups of. I need to find out how many groups of 56 go into 891. And I'm doing partial quotients. I got to do parts of the answer. So I'm chunking it up to see what my final answer will be. 56 will not go into 8 because 8 is way too small than 56. So that is 0. So 0 times 56 equals 0, and I'm going to subtract that out. 8 minus 0 equals 8. I'm going to bring my 8 over here, and I'm writing with pen, so I'm just going to go over that so I can have more room. So I brought my 8 up, and it becomes an 89. Well, 56 is larger than 89, so if I doubled it, it won't work out. And I'll prove it, because 2 times 6 equals 12. I regroup my 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 equals 11. And 11 is way too big than 89. It goes way too, it's above it. So it'll only be 1 time. Because if you have, for those of you that aren't seeing it, 1 times 56 equals 56. So it's going to be 1 group of 56 that can go into 89. Then I'm going to, again, subtract it out. 9 minus 6 equals 3. 8 minus 5 equals 3. And now I'm going to bring up my 3's here. So that makes it 331. And I'm going to keep multiplying out. How many more groups of 56 can go into 331? So here I have 56 times 3. 3 times 6 equals 18. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. I can keep going. 56 times 4. Oh, 4 times 6 equals 24. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. Still smaller than 331. I can keep going. So how many more groups of 56 can go into 331 without going over? Let's look at 5 groups of 56. 5 times 6 equals 30. Regroup it. 5 times 5 is 25, 26, 27, 28. I'm getting pretty close. So let me do one more group. 6 times 6 is 36. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 3, it's 33. Well, look, it's going to be too big. That's 336. This is 331. So I'm going to have 5 groups of 56. And that equals 280. And I'm going to subtract that out. My square should have been a little bit bigger so I can see. So what I've seen some kids do, which I think is a great idea, you brought that out of the rectangle so that you can subtract it out. 1 minus 0 equals 1. I cannot take 8 out of 3, so I'm going to regroup. That becomes a 2. And I'm going to bring my 1 over here. That 3 stays the same, so it's 13. So how many 8s, or how far away from 13 we are? I got my operations confused. So what are we looking at? 8. How close am I to 13? Yeah, so it's going to be 5. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So my remainder is 51. And I can stop right there. Is 51 less than my divisor? Yes. So that's my remainder. So I'm going to have 15 groups of 56 with a remainder of 51. And this is my remainder, so it's going to look like 15, because this is my quotient, with a remainder of 51. Okay. So here, and I had y'all write the answers down on a sheet of paper, so even though if you either lost or did not bring your homework, I instructed you to get your journal out and write down the answers so that when you're working on your work, you have that to compare with tonight. The next problem we had was number 5, and it's 63 goes into 173 how many times? Okay, so I'm going to turn the page because I really want to have everything on a clean sheet. So number 5, I'm going to do long division or standard algorithm. It's the same thing. Okay, and so my equation, I have 63, it's 173, all right, my multiplication sign goes here, it's groups of, so how many groups of 63 goes into 1, and the answer is 0, 0 times 63 equals 0, and that becomes a 1. So I take 0 from 1 is 1, bring down my 17. 63, how many groups of 63 goes into 17? The answer is 0. 17 is too small. It has to be equal to or greater than my divisor. 0 times 63 equals 0. Bring down my 17 and subtract that out. And now I bring down my 3, so now I have 173, which is what I started off before, and that's okay. So now, how many groups, again, of 63 will go into 173? Well, I like to start off with 5s, but I'm going to do 2s first, because I know I'm not going to go very high. So 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 times 6 equals 12. Okay, so I'm getting closer. Let's see if I can put another group of 63 in this. So I'm going to have 3 groups of 63. 3 times 3 equals 9. 6 times 3 is 118. Is this too big? Yeah, it's way too big, so it's going to be 2. 2 groups of 63 equals 126. And now I'm going to subtract that out. I cannot take 6 from 3, so I'm going to regroup. 13 minus 6 equals 7. 6 minus 2 equals 4. Very good. And so my remainder is 47. Is 47 less than my divisor? Yes. So I can stop. I have nothing else to bring down. So I'm going to have 2 groups of 63 with a remainder of 47. So I'm going to have, so my quotient equals 2. with a remainder of 47. Okay? Again, this is going to be my divisor. This is my dividend. And please mark it. Lots of you got it confused and didn't mark it. And this is my quotient. And this is my remainder. That's what's left over. So take a look at the way it was marked and make sure that you do the same so that you can start being more familiar with it. A lot of you are not using your vocabulary, so you're still confused on how to do it. So please, please, I'm asking you at this point, stop those bad habits and start labeling so that you can start remembering what they mean. All right, next question. Question is number 7. Okay, this was 2 with a remainder of 47. Number 7. I have a 39. I have 5, 1, 0, and 9. Just kind of spaced them out a little bit more so I have room I can work with it. Okay, I'm going to put my multiplication sign here. So are you kind of seeing the gist of it? This is still like long division, but instead of doing my subtraction down, I'm doing my subtraction across. This is groups of 39. Can 39 go into 5? No, it's way too small. So it's going to be 0 groups of 39 equals 0, and I subtract that out. Bring my 5 up. Well, look at this. 39 times 1. I'm doing it this way because some of you are forgetting that one group of 39 or one group of something can go into a number as long as it's larger. But if you don't, what you're trying to do is to force 2 to go in, and that y'all did that on the quiz today. So it's 2 times 9 equals 18. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 equals 7. This is way too big because I cannot go over 51. So the only one that I have is going to be one group of 39. So 1 times 39 equals 39, and now I can subtract it. So I can't take 9 out of 1, so I need to regroup. That becomes a 4, and then it's 11. So 9 from 11 equals 2. 3 from 4 equals 1. And I can carry this over, and this makes 120. So I'm going to keep going because 2 groups of 39 equals 78. So what is 3 groups of 39? 3 times 9 equals 27. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2, that's 11. Okay, I think that's the closest that I can get to without going over. This is 117, and this is 120. There's no way I can put another group of 39 because then it'll be way too high. So this is going to be 3. 3 groups of 39, I said it's 117. Subtract it out. I cannot take 7 from 0, so I need to regroup. This becomes a 1, and now this is a 10. 10 minus 7 equals 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So my 3 is going up here, and look at that. 39 can go into 39 one time because 1 times 39 equals 39. And I have 0 as my remainder. So my answer is, my quotient is 131 with a remainder of 0. And the way I was stated is that I have 131 groups